think the part that I love the most is being able to help companies avoid, or sales leaders, or however you want to put it, helping these people in these companies avoid the kind of common mistakes that we see a ton of companies make. So when companies are building out their sales development function for the first time with us, we get to lay those foundations in a really kind of strong and stable way so that they can just build week over week, month over month, and kind of move forward. We see a lot in companies that have kind of gone out and tried to do it on their own and maybe haven't seen some success. There are a lot of sort of foundational bits that are often missed that leads to that lack of success. And then maybe they're spinning their tires, just going like, why is my messaging not resonating? Why are we not booking meetings? Why do we have opens but not replies? Like all these things that are really tough to kind of diagnose. But a ton of that comes from building the playbook and building the foundation, and missing bits. And that's what kind of leads to this downstream impact, all the way down to like closing pipeline kind of thing, really the whole way through the funnel. So what is amazing is when we get to build those foundational pieces with a company and see everything sort of snowball in a good way. Like everything speeds up and picks up traction so much quicker. You'll see this in a couple of the case studies that we've shared, but for instance, Cost Certified, they've never built an outbound function before. They were at a stage in their company growth that they wanted to kind of like hit the next level, hit the next gear, grow much more quickly than they could through inbound. So they wanted to build a large outbound team, but obviously having never done that, it's a huge risk just to hire. You can't just hire 8 reps and think like, cool, 8 bodies will be fine. So we built their playbook with them, and exactly what I'm talking about, spent about 3 months building the foundations, getting the playbook ready, getting the call scripts ready, getting the sequences ready. And the AEs actually did full cycle while we were testing that stuff out. So they were testing it as we were building it before we brought on those dedicated SDRs. And as soon as we had built the call scripts and they started calling, they were booking meetings, generating opportunities. As soon as we finished the playbook, they were hiring SDRs, and those SDRs were hitting quota. So they're hiring more SDRs, and those SDRs are hitting quota. And at this point, I think they've got over 10 SDRs now on the team within the space of honestly a few months. And they're doing incredibly well. So seeing that kind of impact, the downstream impact that having a solid foundation can have, is so rewarding. And obviously being able to be a part of that. And then when leaders come back to you and are like, wow, like this is really working, or like, hey, I learned so much from this session, or even when we spend a bunch of time on pain points and priorities for a buyer persona and messaging, and they go like, you know what, this is way more impactful than what we're currently doing, even in marketing. Like we need to pull this messaging over for other functions of the business. So it can have like a massive knock-on effect, not only down the whole pipeline, down the whole funnel, but to all areas of the business.